Justice has been served, I think? Hey guys, welcome back to the TimeShot Server. I just logged on a few minutes ago, actually maybe like 20 minutes ago. But I saw these pigs spilling out of Liam's house. Jake was over here too, he let some out it looks like. But I went inside and I see this sign. The ghost of Sky Pig Bob will have vengeance. And there's all these pigs. Look at all these pigs. Look at all these pigs. I wonder who did this. I wonder who. It wasn't me. But there's a lot of pigs in here. I was so sad when Liam killed my pig the other day. I mean, I even built a grave. And the episode for that actually hasn't even aired. Has it? No, it hasn't even aired. Since Sky Pig Bob died. And then I looked in here, and there's Sky Pig Bob Chop. Instead of like a pork chop. So, and then I went in my house, and I looked in my house, and there was an... Oh my god, look at all these pigs that escaped. Whoops. I'm just going to let them live. And I looked in my house, and I was standing in here, and Jake was running around, and I was just looking, and there was another pig in here. I was like, Sky Pig Bob returns? It's like, what am I going to name this pig? I was looking at it, just staring at it as I was moving here. Jake's standing in the doorway. He shoots at it and kills it. So, what I had to do, I had to build a second grave for that pig. And I was thinking, I was like, you know, he probably would have been Sky Pig Bob 2. So here lies Sky Pig Bob 2, murdered by Jake with his bow. He had a nice flame bow, and he just shot him and killed him. So, he did this, he put this, well, he did this right here. Is that spruce? Take it. I'm digging up a grave. That seems really bad. It is. Okay, so I mismatched this. Because I used this dark oak. You can tell the difference. Huh? I thought I just heard another one murdered. Is Jake around again? But anyways, so, I don't know. Whoever... Sky Pig Bob getting his revenge. You might have to get your revenge on Jake too, because Jake murdered Sky Pig Bob too. These people in there. Well, actually, I think Jake would enjoy this. If he had all these pigs in his house like this, he'd enjoy it. He'd just murder them all. Because even when I opened this door, he started murdering some of these pigs. He's like, I need some meat. So I murdered him. But that's Jake for you, so whatever. But anyways, today... we're actually going to work on the road a little bit because it needs to be somewhat finished, I guess. I was looking around. I was thinking about the path that went from Liam's all the way down to Wynn's, and I was like, hey, you know, that probably shouldn't be there anymore. We should think about where we're going to move this. And when I logged on, I found that it was gone. Somebody has already taken it down from all the way from here till I think we can go look. Gotta show you where it's been taken down from. So there's no path to Cow Island anymore. So I guess they'll just live there in peace and harmony, and nobody will disrupt them and whatever. They'll be happy. They'll be happy with their lives. Oh, there's pigs down here. Hi guys. Let's breed you. Let's make more little pig babies. There's a little pig baby. Hi. But yeah, there's the creeper face. Yeah, okay. And then, yeah, so there was a pathway from like there all the way down to Wynn's there, and now it's gone, obviously. There was a few leftover like pillar or of the column remains that I just dug up. And then I saw that somebody built this bridge here and started like going to Wynn's. They started to make it to Wynn's. So we're gonna help out a little bit. I think we're gonna try to finish this up for whoever did this, because this is nice of them to do. And I was trying to think, because Wynn was like worried about how she's gonna connect back to her place. And she might have even done this. I'm not sure who it was, but she wanted to make sure that she's still connected to Spawn Town. But yeah, so there's this nice bridge. I really like this design. Looks pretty good. We're going to try to replicate it to over by the other part of the river. But it's going to come down through here, and I started to form more of this in here. And I started to dig this out and said, I think it should go this way, and then probably up here, and then over this way. And once it reaches about this point, we'll sync it up back with there. So that's kind of the plan for what we're going to do here today. I have a bunch of blocks on me, so I was kind of preparing for this. So that is the plan. So let's get started. Let's put them, I guess we'll start with these. Actually, I want to start and finish this up down here, what somebody had already done. But while we're doing this, I had an idea. I want to talk about a subject, and that subject is focusing on things. Focusing, I guess, in general. So when I was younger, especially in school, I had a really hard time focusing on class and what was going on in class. I was often bored. I didn't... Okay, I guess this is kind of a weird thing to say, but I was never formally diagnosed with any sort of attention deficit type of disorder or anything like that. That wasn't as much heard of, I guess, when I was a kid, when I was younger. It's not like today where a lot of kids tend to have that, or they say that as a reason, you know, for why they can't focus in class or something. They say they have ADHD or ADD or whatever. But anyway, so I was never diagnosed with that formally, and I still don't think that I had ADHD, if that makes any sense. I don't think I had that problem, actually. But, yeah, I kind of wanted to talk about that. I had a hard time focusing in school. A lot of times I would try to find different mechanisms to cope with you know, not being able to focus, and that would be a lot of times through bouncing my leg up and down. And I don't know if you've heard of this before, but a lot of people tend to bounce their legs up and down when they can't focus because they're bored, and actually it's kind of like a primal brain thing to do that, to think about like bouncing your leg up and down is to help stimulate you and keep you from getting bored and keep you focused on a topic. So it was actually like a coping mechanism from even when I was pretty young, and I didn't even, you know, you don't think about that as a coping mechanism, but it was actually something that helps you focus more. So yeah, so I used to do that subconsciously. I don't do it anymore at all. I'm going to change this to a stair because it seems like it should curve around. This seems really awkward here. We might have to think about what we're going to do with this for when. And somebody, I think Huck has fenced all this off. I'm not really sure. But then there's this fenced off here too. Yeah, oh yeah. This was a ravine. I'm not going to clean this up just yet, this fence. It's all over the place though. There was a ravine, like, I think this is only like one thick. I filled in some over here that was still left, but yeah, I think that's going to have to be torn down too. Did somebody grow all this too high grass? I don't know. But anyways, back to the topic of focusing. Here I'm like not being able to focus on what I'm talking about, but oh well. Let's see, put this down here now. So yeah, I spent a lot of time in school bouncing my leg up and down, and people used to point it out and even tease me about it and just say like, hey, what are you doing? Why is your leg bouncing like that? And then as soon as you notice it happening, because you don't really think about it, like I said, as soon as you notice it happening, you're like, okay, I gotta stop doing this. I have to stop bouncing my leg. And as soon as I stop bouncing my leg, it kind of like starts to be, my attention starts to wander. And I look for other things to pick up my attention, like whatever. If I was sitting near a window, it'd be whatever's going on outside. I'd be looking out the window, trying to see, you know, what's happening out there, if there's anything interesting, whatever it would be. And I think that's kind of normal for most kids anyways. I'm not saying this is abnormal or anything like that. When you're in school or whatever it is, you can tend to be pretty bored if you're uninterested in a subject, if the teacher's not keeping good topics or something like that. I know there was a lot of times like that. But that, you know, I don't fault a teacher for that. That's just kind of how it goes. Kids aren't always interested in what they're learning about in school. But yeah, so I used to have that, and I used to have that. I used to do that when I was younger, and then as I became an adult, I still actually had a lot of these same type of habits, I guess, where I couldn't focus on things a lot of the time, and I started to actually do other things than bouncing my leg, because in a professional setting where I am now, and even in like a college setting, if you're bouncing your leg like that, like Like, if you know what I'm talking about, you probably do. You've probably seen other people do it. But, lol. Jake died. He was making fun of me for my 8 deaths. Now he just died, that jerk. That jerk, Jake. That's probably a little harsh. It's probably a little mean for me to say that, but he's dead. We're going to go this way with this, I think. Trying to see one more over here. Okay, this is going to be interesting how we're going to do this bridge, but I'm going to kind of leave that for last, I think. So yeah, in a professional setting, I had to find different ways to cope with it. Can I sleep? Sure, I can sleep. All right, let me head over to my bed. But I had to find different ways to cope with it, and a lot of that was actually through what are called fidgets. And I don't know if anyone's ever heard this term before, but basically they're things that you can play with in your hands to help keep your attention, help keep you focused on something. Even though it seems like you're not really focusing on whatever, maybe someone's giving you a lecture or you're in a meeting. I'm in, Jake. Maybe you're in a lecture or meeting or something and you're just sitting there, and even though you might be playing with something in your hands, it's actually helping keep you focused because it's keeping you stimulated. Luring monsters away. Okay. But anyway, so like right now I'm just sitting here just talking and I can't sit still. I have to be like doing something with my hands. I don't know. It's just something that's kind of happened to me. But anyways, so I do this during meetings at work. I have different techniques that I use. Instead of bouncing my leg up and down, I actually like wiggle my toes and my shoes. I play with my hands, like cracking my knuckles and things, but I try to do it subtly so it doesn't distract other people. At my desk, actually, at work, I think I tweeted it out a couple weeks ago. I have like a ton of stuff just sitting on my desk that I just use to play with. I have a stress ball. I have a koosh ball. I have what else do I have at my desk at work? Oh, I have like one of those snap bracelet things that I play with a lot at work. I play with pens. I play with paper clips. It's a lot of just little things that you can use to keep you occupied in your hands. And for me, when I'm problem solving, that's like the #1 thing I need. Because if I'm just trying to focus on a topic and really just focus on the topic, keeping my hands occupied is really like a huge thing for me. Okay, finally, Jake. All right. That was wacky. You are wacky. Have a nice day, Jake. Good thing I recorded it. Yeah, that is good. I'm recording right now, Jake. Stop interrupting me. But, what was I saying now? I already forgot. Oh, so I need to always keep my my hands occupied to help keep my brain occupied a lot of times when I work. So I have those types of things at my desk. At my desk at home, I'm sitting at my desk at home right now. If I'm watching a video or a stream or something, I usually am playing a game or something. 5 deaths, 9? 5 deaths, 9. I don't know what that... Oh, he was trying to do sad face. Let me think about this. 1, 2, 3. It's 2 wide. This is only supposed to be 3 wide. Yeah. 3 wide. So, yeah, like this. I don't like making these huge straight paths, but make it wider here. That'll be 3 again. So yeah, at my desk at home, I actually have quite a few things. I have, let's see, I have a slinky that I play with. You can probably hear my slinky that I play with. I have some pens. I have a little bottle that I... This is kind of getting weird. This episode is getting really weird. I have a little bottle that I play with, and it also is, it's a... This is going to sound so weird, but I brewed my own root beer before, and this... And there goes Jake. And this bottle is actually the flavoring for the root beer, the stuff that gives it its smell. So it has that root beer sarsaparilla style smell to it, and it smells really good. And I've saved this bottle for, I don't know, 6 months or something at least, because I really like the smell of it. But man, that is weird to admit. But yeah, it just sits here on my desk with me. What else do I have? That's not what I want to do. I have an Xbox controller. I have a whole thing of pens. I have like a clip that I play with in my hands. You can probably hear all these things, but you can't see them. But you can imagine I just have things riddled all over, little toys and things that I play with to help keep me focused when I'm watching even videos online or streams. So yeah, so I do all these things. Those are kind of my coping mechanisms. And I notice too that I have to be multitasking all the time. Like I can't just sit still. I have to be doing something at the same time, and if I'm not, you know, it's not enough. And I think that's kind of exists because of the nature of the world today. You're always stimulated, no matter what you're doing. It seems like there's always something going on, whether you have your phone, a tablet, your TV's on, you're watching YouTube videos, whatever it is. It seems like there's always something going on to keep you occupied, I guess, and keep you not bored, which is a lot different than how it used to be. You used to have moments of boredom where you wouldn't be doing really anything, and you would just be sitting there waiting for something. If it was like at a doctor's office, you could maybe read a magazine, or if you're just waiting for somebody, one of your friends, to come over when there was no internet. So I think it's definitely exists because of the nature of how the world is today, where everything is, you're so connected to everything. There's no downtime at all. You're always doing something. So I think that's kind of interesting, just the shifting of kind of how the culture is. So yeah, I'm always multitasking, and I don't know if it's possible to be really an effective multitasker. Some people argue that you can't be an effective multitasker. It's just not possible, because you're not really focusing on one thing. You're focusing on 100 things, or however many you're doing at once. I usually do, I don't know, 3 to 4 things at once, at least. I have more of these? I do. So like if I'm watching a YouTube video, I'm also playing with something, or I'm playing a game, and I'm listening to music. I have multiple monitors, so I can look at multiple things. I might be reading an article while I watch a show. So yeah, it's just kind of strange, because it's a little different than how it used to be. And I don't know if other people have these same types of things that they do, but it definitely affects me. Let's finish up this. We're gonna place these. I think this is kind of how the pattern goes. When I look at the other roads that I built, this is kind of what I do usually. I put the cobble and the plain slabs on the edges, and then fill the rest in with these, I think, and then more of the middle, and then maybe sprinkle some of these about too, the cobble ones. So we'll just do that too. Put these in here, a couple in a row maybe. Yeah. So I think this is kind of how the road's going to be designed. But I noticed that one of the things that, like I said, one of the things that doesn't, I usually can focus on one thing at a time when I'm playing video games, mostly. If the game is difficult and it's like a problem-solving game where I have to do a lot of thinking, it depends on how fast-paced it is for it to keep my attention. If it's kind of a slow, like, problem-solving game where you have to like deduce and figure things out as you're sitting and waiting for something to happen, those are really quite boring to me, I guess. I usually like active games, like I've done a lot of Spelunky, if you've seen those ever posted. I really like those because that's like problem solving on the fly. You have to come up with a solution right away, and it keeps you occupied the entire time you're playing it, because it's quite difficult to you have to make quick decisions, and yeah, it just keeps you thinking the whole time. You never know what's around the next corner, and you're always focused on what's going on. The same is true for some of the other games I play, like Binding of Isaac is the same way. You have to really focus on what you're doing, otherwise, you know, you could lose that game as well. So I like these games that really keep you very focused. I don't like this corner. I think I'm gonna do it like that. Take this one out. I need dirt. Put the dirt in here. Let's see if that looks any better. Let's come around here. It's a little better. I guess it's okay. But yeah, so I like those types of games that you can really focus on what you're doing. It keeps you occupied, so you don't have to worry about getting distracted. At least that matters for me. I really like things that get my brain working and use my brain effectively rather than just sitting mindlessly staring at, you know, a screen and clicking things and whatnot. This game is good for that as well, I think, because a lot of it you have to think about how you're going to design something or what action you're going to take in certain situations. It is pretty fast-paced, but there's usually not danger lurking around every turn, at least not in vanilla. There is probably more in mod packs and things, but this is more, you know, about designing and building than it is other stuff. So yeah. So yeah, that's kind of what I want to talk about today with focusing and kind of gaming and kind of my experiences. So if you want some advice, my advice would be to try to find some other things. If you are a fidgeter like me, my advice would be to find some other things that you can fidget with or some techniques. Like I said, there's some things that you can do without having anything in your hands or, you know, with you. And there's some things that you can do to just kind of help yourself relax and help yourself let your brain focus, because my brain just never turns off. It's always on. It's always on 100% of the time. So there's no times where I'm not thinking about anything. It's just always on. So let's fill this in with dirt too. When I'm talking, that's probably talking and playing is actually quite a difficult thing for me to do. But I'm starting to train myself more and more to be able to do this as I play, try to explain what I'm doing and things like that. But usually when it's something like this, it's hard to even get multiple things going at once, at least for me. This is looking pretty good, I think. I saw some trees earlier that looked really, yeah, like this. It really bothers me. Oop, didn't mean to place that. But this is like somebody chopped down a tree here, and then they left all these leaves, and they won't despawn because they're right next to this giant dark oak tree. So I don't know. I try to take some of this down because it just doesn't look quite right. I want to beautify spawn. I want it to look nice here. Some people are just don't take care of it at all. It looks like crap all the time. So yeah, I don't know. What can you do? I'd like some bone meal and put a little bit of grass around here. I think this could use some. Oop, this could use some grass over in this direction. And this farm is just almost too small at this point. No chicken. No chicken. Let's change this to a slab. Looks better. So that kind of walks up there. The bridge and this right here we got to finish up. Oh yeah, I was going to make more of these, and I got distracted. Is this a tree? That is a tree. Okay. So this is probably going up to, well, I am actually out of town. I'm actually in San Francisco this week when this is airing. I think this is probably going to go up on Thursday, Wednesday or Thursday this week. But I'll be in San Francisco until Friday, actually. I have a conference I'm going to out there for my job. And I think I'll probably talk about that a little bit, probably in the next episode. But it's a conference for mobile. Well, it's a conference for Apple, actually. It's an Apple conference, their developer conference that they hold every year. So I'm going to that, and that should be a lot of fun. And hopefully I'll be tweeting a little about it. So if you want to keep connected to what I'm doing there and what's going on there, make sure you're following me on Twitter to see what's going on. But yeah, I think this is probably going to be the end of the episode. I might build a bridge either off camera or I might record another one here. And yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.